So a lot of times you'll have a full day of observation, and you do the lunchtime breakdown, and you close on availability, and then they're really excited, and they say, I could start tomorrow. I'm going to be great at this, and they sell themselves. When I first started taking out interviews, a lot of times I get to that point in the day, and the person was excited, they were in, they wanted to start tomorrow, but then by the end of the day they weren't, and I had to understand why that was. And it's unnatural because you're not used to spending 8 hours with people to begin with, but what we're accustomed to, what we teach in the field is that you close at the height of impulse. There was a video, someone did yesterday, you guys have already seen in the account executive module, where people talked about the green light theory, which is that as soon as somebody asks a closing question or shows a buying sign, you immediately go to the close. Well, that might happen on a day of observation, a full day of observation, an hour into the day or 2 hours into the day. But you're going to maintain the person being with you, so how do you keep the excitement? So here's the way I look at recruitment in general. Imagine you were going to open up a nightclub in London or in Miami or in Warsaw, and your goal is to make that the most exclusive and most popular nightclub in that city. The first thing you would do is you would promote the heck out of it. You would do whatever you could do by the sign, by the building, by the advertisements, by the famous people, by the pretty girls or good-looking guys that you put in the advertisements. You would do whatever you could to make everybody want to be part of that club, and then you would make it really difficult once people came to the club to get in. You keep people outside in the line. You see this all the time, and you might come outside and you say, anyone who wants to spend $20,000 at a table can come in, or you can come in if you can get more, bring more girls with you or whatever. And you see this happen, and this is part of the way clubs become exclusive. When Facebook first started, they understood this concept of exclusivity, and at first you had to have a harvard.edu address, and then you had to have a .edu address, and then eventually they opened it up to everybody, and in some ways that was the death of it. I mean, there's billions of people who have Facebook addresses, have Facebook accounts, but in this country, at least in America, it's not cool. Your grandmother's on it, your aunt's on it, your dad's on it, and so the kids don't want to be on it because it lacks exclusivity. And so understanding the concept of exclusivity is really, really important. So the way I look at day of observation is we want to build value in ourselves and sell ourselves. We want to explain the business, get them to understand that, build value and greed and excitement in the training program. And then after lunch, the entire time is making it difficult to get into the club. So how am I doing that? I'm challenging people a lot. I'm using language that is that is indifferent in nature, but is the truth, which is I'm saying things like, there's 1,000 people that are applying for the position. The manager's looking for only a couple people to open up these 40 offices. So why you? Why you, why you, why you? I'm saying things like, if for some reason you were to get into a third round interview tonight, that'd be a great question to ask Josh. I'm saying things like, I really like you. If it was my company, I would just give you the position. But it's not my company yet. But I'm opening up my office in Tampa, Florida, and on April 1st, so here's my phone number. If you're still looking for a position, give me a call. But hopefully it won't come to that, which is why it's so important that we get the questionnaire right. I had a situation recently where someone did pretty well on the day of observation. I was impressed with them. I gave them a great recommendation, but they forgot one of the 8 steps. This is a fast program. We're looking for people. We have so much pressure on us from the clients. Josh needs people to come in, get trained, and open up these offices right away. So he's looking for people that can think fast, can learn fast, and pick up things really, really quickly. And so what it does is it keeps the focus on the fight. And the other part of it is, and it's human nature. I don't know why people are like this, but people want what is difficult to have, and nobody wants what is easy to get. It's just the way human nature is. And companies all over the world, the top companies interview. If I were to go into Google tomorrow and say, hey, I run this international business, and we're going to do 150 million or 120 million this year, and I want to work in a corporate environment, I think they'd get really excited about it. And the more excited they were about me, the more difficult they would make me to get the position. They'd probably put me through 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 rounds of interviews and challenge me. And it's so important to do that. And when I first started interviewing and recruiting people, when I had a yes, I was just so excited that I almost went to it's going to be so great for us. I'd say, when can you start? They'd say, tomorrow. I'm so in this with you. I want to expand with you. And I'd say, it's going to be amazing. And our kids are going to play together. And we're going to be gazillionaires. Thinking that was going to be really effective. But what I came to realize was, My job was to create impulse, not get impulsed or excited by the person. And the reality is that it's not your company yet, hopefully. So reminding yourself that and reminding the people that you're interviewing is really, really important.